Okay, welcome to Kung Fu Havoc number 2. This is going to probably wind up being a two-parter about the human body, and it'll be the last video because it's 10 o'clock, and I'm going to have to stop the video to go take the dogs out like in 20 some odd minutes. So this is more than likely going to be a two-parter, which means I'll probably finish the two-parter after I get out the shower so that we can get this shit out the way. Alright? So let's talk about the human body being the world's most dangerous weapon. All right. Um, if you are not aware, I did mention that this axe was messing with my leg, and a lot of people would consider, because this is like a mountain climbing axe, as a dangerous tool or a weapon. And if you take any martial arts and then you start doing weapons training as well with martial arts, you're gonna understand something real fast. These things are not toys. All right. They are made to unalive people. They are made for complete and total annihilation of your opponent. If you watch any of my videos, the first thing I tell you is that yes, I do train with weapons. I also tell you never bring a weapon to a fight because a weapon is an advantage that can be taken from you at any given moment. And the reason why I say that is because it's the truth. If you are not good with the weapon that you bring to the battlefield, it is only a matter of time before your mistake becomes your last. All right? And by that, I mean I'm good with nunchucks. I'm not great with nunchucks. I'm no longer in my 20s. And in my 20s, I probably wasn't great in anybody else's vision but my own. And that's the thing that you have to live with the reality of. You can be good and you can be great, but are you good to everyone? Or are you just good for yourself? All right? And I've learned this that, yeah, I got my special trick where I catch it in my elbow and nobody else is doing it. And then you look at other people and they're just fucking astonished. And you're like, I don't know if it's a camera trick or if it's real, but I know mine's is real. I don't know shit about camera tricks, so I can never speed up shit or whatever. But I can tell you this, you know, I would never take a weapon to a fight. But the simple fact is, I should be weapon enough to get it done. Alright? And I say that posthumously because my shirt is nunchucks. If I take this bitch off and tie a knot in this motherfucker, I have a pair of nunchucks. Is somebody I'm fighting going to give me the chance to do that? Fuck no. But if they do, I'm going to do that. If I'm fighting somewhere where I can dip that shit in some water to tighten it up and make it more impactful on somebody who I'm hitting with it, hell yeah, I'm going to do that. Why am I going to do that? Because I fight to survive. I do not fight for a win. I do not fight for bragging rights. I got time for that shit. I'm 49 years old. If we're fighting, understand I have one mission, and that is to eliminate you or as much of your body as possible. And I say that posthumously because you need to understand how fighting fucking works. Fighting does not work like the movies. And not every fight you see in the UFC is how your fight is going to be. Now, every fight that you see on the videos spread it all across YouTube, bum fights and all the shit, no fight is the same. No fight is ever the same. How you beat the guy 2 weeks ago won't be how you have to beat him the next time you guys meet. If you guys meet. Now, in a professional setting, let's say for wrestling, let's say I'm the face and I have to fight the heel. And I'm supposed to lose every fucking match because it's predetermined until the pay-per-view. At the last possible second of the pay-per-view, they get the signal that I lose this pay-per-view. And so that the rivalry goes on for another 2 weeks or another 4 weeks, and then we have a pay-per-view in my hometown. And in that pay-per-view, I'm supposed to win, but not get the title. So that the fight will still go on and on. It's how you build a rivalry. It's how you build a story. And they were like, yeah, you got lucky, but you ain't got this belt. You know? Because let's just say I beat the guy, but he finds a way to like roll out the ring and get the 10 count and walk away. In the movies, same concept. You know? And in real life, not so much. Alright? Most of the people that I've ever fought in real life, whether it be a sparring match or whether it be a real fight, have never come back for another round. I have literally chased a person for 2.5 weeks because I lost to them for another round. and they refused to give it to me. And then my cousin died, and I tell you guys the story. And the longest, shortest, the little fucker would not fight me back. But this time the fight was going to be for real. It wasn't going to be that bullshit that he won with that sparring match. And he went on to become an ISK champion. I still have my reserves about that because, you know, he wouldn't fight me. He had me sitting out in the yard for 5 and some change hours. But he talked all that shit at the church, and he just never showed the fuck back up. But he's the one that talked all that shit. Now, when he beat me in a sparring match, I took no shame in that. And everybody in my family shamed the fuck out of me. Oh, you thought you were hot shit, huh? Gotta take your ass down a little bit, huh? Well, he never took me down. He only won because he stopped fighting. You know? I had another couple of rounds in me. He didn't. That was the difference maker between his martial arts and mine. In my mind, I don't believe in giving up. You're gonna have to kill me to stop me. That's just it. You're going to have to kill me to stop me. And if you can't do that, that's a you problem. It's not a me problem. Which is why I don't need to bring a weapon. Because I am the weapon. Because I have the one thing that no one else has on this planet. I know that I cannot be stopped outside of my ass being killed. You're gonna have to kill me to stop me. It's just that fucking simple. You're bigger than me. That does not impress me. You may have a better belt than me. That does not impress me. Now the proof is gonna be, how good are you when we start throwing these motherfucking hands? And I'm not talking about in wrestling. I'm talking about in real fucking life. And I've given you these stories before, and I'll give them to you again. I got into a fight when I was 15 with a guy who was 13, who was like every bit of 6'6". And I whooped him. It wasn't a choice. I had no choice. He was way bigger than me, and he was going to beat my ass. That was the last fight I had that week. 3 to 4 days prior to that, with the exception of Wednesday, so that Thursday I got into a fight, that Tuesday I got into an argument, and that Monday I got into a fight. So I already knew that I could fight, because I had been fighting since I was fucking 6 years old. By the time I turned 15, I had basically 3 major fights. The second one doesn't count because it was an argument and they ran. But it still was something that was going to go down. And prior to that, I had been jumped. No, I handled that shit. Then when I got my job at Kegler's, I got jumped again. Now when I say prior to that, the day before the fight with the big guy, I got jumped that day. We were playing wrestling. Shit went wrong. I hurt somebody. And then they got mad. And they wanted to hurt me. And I gave them the chance to do so. And they thought against it because they picked up a stick. I picked up an iron pipe. I said, you get to go first. Hey, I'm insane. But I know what I'm capable of doing. I knew that when he swung that damn pipe, or stick thingy, I was going to block it. And then I was going to wrap that fucking pipe around his fucking neck. I knew what I was going to do. That's why I gave him the chance to go first. He threw it down. He went home. I threw it down and I went home. Fight's over. Prior to that, there was 3 people besides him that was hanging on to me, and we were playing wrestling. Ronnie Garvin does not know Kung Fu, and I was trying to stay in character. Then my friend David Hutchinson said, nah, James Williams Jr. does know Kung Fu, and now's about the time you should probably be him instead of Rugged Ronnie Garvin. So shout out to Rugged Ronnie Garvin and Sting, by the way, because those were the idols that we had, and also Chief Wahoo McDaniel. Anyway, when I fought the big guy in the park, that was a long time coming, because him and I had exchanged words before. And me being overconfident and a little bit of a zealot, I told him, if we get to fighting, I'm going to hurt you. He laughed in my face because he was way bigger than me, but he was way younger than me. But also, I have fighting experience. I don't know if he had fighting experience, which was probably the difference maker. I knew more about him than he knew about me. I knew he had asthma. So, therefore, knowing more about him is a lot easier than him knowing more about me. I was given a time check. Like in 7 minutes, I'm going to stop this video and go walk the dogs. Then I'm going to take a shower. And then I'll make another video. The second part of this. Anyway, I knew he had asthma because the ambulance picked him up once. The ambulance picked up a couple of my enemies, which is how I knew so much about them, because I have ears to the ground. And I always tend to be in the right place at the wrong time, learning shit about people. One of my enemies who bullied me in high school had an asthma attack and fell down the steps. I said, okay, I know this motherfucker got asthma. Okay. Our other enemy, the big guy, He had asthma, and he had to go to the hospital. And you know, people in the projects don't know how to keep their fucking mouth shut. It's like, yeah, this guy, he has asthma. This guy, he has asthma. Okay, what is one of my number one sayings? If a person can't breathe, they can't hurt you. What is asthma? Asthma is your inability to breathe. So I can induce an asthma attack. I don't have to kill you. I just gotta let your body do the rest for me. You know, and that was the plan. When I fought the big guy in the park, the plan was induce an asthma attack. Because I knew that the best way I could beat him was to kill him. You know, and I meant that's what was gonna happen. Him and I became friends after that. And we never had another problem after that, and I hope that he's doing well. Which is also why I leave names and shit off, because I don't tell this shit as a bragging rights thing, because that's not what you do. Now, as far as the fucking ISK kickboxing champion, he's a douche. And I'm just leave it at that. I'm over it. I don't need to fight this bastard, because I already know if he really could have fight me the way he talked about in the church, he would have went back to New York. He would have said, I'm coming. And he would have came. And he would have threw me the beating that I asked for. But he didn't. But I also knew he couldn't beat me when I hounded him for fucking 2 weeks and a day to get him to have another sparring match. Most of the people that I have sparred with, even if I've lost, it's like, I ain't doing that shit no more. I ain't doing that shit no more. It's like, well, you beat me before. You shouldn't have a problem beating me again. It's like, nah. I know exactly what happened. And see, what is going to happen is this. They will never admit it to me. But they knew. They knew they weren't going to win that shit. Which is why they've never come back to fight. Because they're like, nah, if this motherfucker gets serious, he's going to fuck my shit up. Yes. Because this is what I do. It is what I live for. It is who I am. It is all that I am. It is all I ever wanted to be. It's the one fucking thing in life that even if I lose, I'm still fucking good at it. And people don't understand. When you lose a sparring match, it's not a real fight. When you lose a real fight, you've lost a real fight. There's a big fucking difference. I can lose a sparring match. You know why? Because it teaches me about me. It doesn't teach me about you. It teaches me what I need to work on about me. I can't worry about what it teaches you. I got to worry about what it teaches me. And a lot of people you guys follow on the internet don't tend to tell you that if you lose a sparring match, there's nothing wrong with it. Because it teaches you what not to do the next time around. It also teaches you your weaknesses. And you need to turn your weaknesses into a strength. So, I'm going to go walk the dogs. And I'm going to take a shower. And then I'm going to pick up this video slightly thereafter. So, this is part 1 of the human body being the world's most dangerous weapon. The next part will be part 2, and it will be the final video for tonight. So hopefully you guys will enjoy it. I hope that I taught you guys something, man. And you have to understand something. We talked about the belt system. The belt system does a lot of things for you. But it also does a lot of things to you that will get you confused and will probably get your shit fucked up. Now, learning, doing, and becoming are very, very different. You can learn martial arts, you can become a martial artist, and you can do martial arts all your fucking life and still wind up getting your ass kicked. It's gonna happen if you don't put the fucking work in. You go to the dojo 30 minutes, you drive home 30 more minutes, and you go home, you take a shower, and unless you have to go to work or something, and you choose not to train, it's kind of responsible for you not getting better at what you do. A lot of teachers don't sit back and critique you the way teachers should probably critique you. If I'm the worst student in your class, I would like to know that. You know, I don't give a fuck if you're gonna hurt my feelings. I would like to know that because there's ways we can work that out. I'm paying you to teach me how to fight. So since I'm paying you, it is your job to critique me and make sure that I know for a motherfucking fact, hey man, you're the worst student I got. Okay, so how can we fix it? And then it's your job, because I'm paying you, to fix it. Keep that shit in mind. I'm Echo Fan Grey Wolf. We got a lot more to cover. Be seeing you.